musical process of the Velvet Mouse Show is twofold. The score is done by Scott Leeds, who is our Danny Elfman. He is an incredibly gifted, he doesn't know it yet, he's an incredibly gifted composer. So he is literally scoring each episode the way that Carl Stalling did in the 1930s and 40s for the great Warner Brothers cartoons.
The music, is that separate aspect that can really help pull the story together. So what I'll do is I'll, start a work tape of certain songs or demos, and then I'll send them to Seth, and they'll be very primitive, but they'll be the correct length, so he can drop them in and start working to those. And then I'll start fleshing them out and adding instruments and master them and mix them, and then when they're done, I'll send that to Seth, and he can just switch them out and drop the complete one in, so it'll all make sense.
Everything that's happening has a score written expressly for it, which is unusual, I think, and Hanna-Barbera were using the same music for the last 40 years. It's ingrained in all their heads.
One thing that was really exciting about working on the show was the idea of doing sort of a Peter and the Wolf thing and having characters have their own theme. Like Dr. X has a very sort of, cinematic, gothic, mad scientist sort of theme. Sadie, we had these mellotron flutes, and so I used them in sort of a jaunty little, tune, and that sort of kind of explains, anytime you hear that song, you know who Sadie is, like right away. And for the mouse, one thing that was really exciting is Russell wrote the scene where the mouse is kind of, flying down the canyon roads in his car trying to escape the shadow agents. And right away when I saw that, I knew it's like, this is my chance to do the Avengers, to do a little bit of Get Smart or James Bond or The Prisoner or something like that. And so that was probably my favorite musical cue that I've done for the show.
When I came in to play it, he had written it in a chord that was, the chord progression was very friendly for piano and very unfriendly for guitar. So he had me doing things that I don't think I'd ever done before, but we did it for the sake of music. But I don't think I'll ever be able to play violin again.
The boys, really, it's more about the four boys together. So we'll have sort of a lackadaisical theme, or we'll have, this is the end of the day theme, or getting ready to go on an adventure theme, and so very much like Scooby-Doo or those old Hanna-Barbera shorts, we'd have just sort of bed scores that we could lay down behind certain scenes that sort of help the dialogue along, or could punctuate a joke. Of course, Pat and Russell were in a band back in the day, and of course there was the Velvet Mouse Show live show, but Seth and I have also been in a band together, and so the four of us are pretty, not really virtuosic at anything, but sort of, musically adept at most things. So it's kind of fun to get together and just play around with certain things, and of course when the four of us came together, there's, we have a lot of instruments. Wacky around here sometimes.
Not only do we have an awesome cartoon, but we have a bubblegum pop band that is we're sort of bridging music from the 60s and 70s with music from today. An original Velvet Mouse Show song happens, usually Scott will say, I have a melody, or I will say, I have a leftover piece of the song, or here's an idea for a lyric. and then it is a really collaborative process, and we fight back and forth, and then pretty soon, voila, there is a magical song.
Russell will lay down a lot of the guitars. He's a great guitar player. And Pat will come in and lay down some drums. Seth will come in and lay down some guitar.
And Patrick and I have brought an old friend, Ron, who played with us in the original incarnation of our band way back when.
He's a great bass player. He's a great musician in general. And then I pretty much take everything care of all the stuff with keys. So if there's a horn section or a string section or bells or a xylophone or marimba, and because everybody else is chicken, I have to sing. So I have to harmonize with myself, and it gets very sad sometimes.
We were gonna go to Laserium!
High School Love. The as of yet unreleased demo of Jupiter's Lament.
Santa Claus is coming to town, because I'm Jewish and I love Santa Claus.
Velvet Mouse Show theme song.
Sadie, please don't go.
Because of you?
Supersonic Valentine.
Supersonic Valentine.
Supersonic Valentine.
Supersonic Valentine. Just hands down, that's my favorite.
It was really important for us thematically to have kind of a cohesion amongst, especially in this show, there's so many different kind of genres flying in from all angles that it was important for us for everything to be kind of cohesive, and I think that we've managed that.
It's as if, we found our missing little brothers or our tribe because we all speak the same language. It's a dream gig. What can I say? We won the lottery.